Good morning, and please remain standing. I'm Stephen Toop, and I have the honor to serve as President and Vice Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. Please join us now in the singing of O Canada, led by our University Marshal, Professor Nancy Hermiston, Director of the Opera and Voice Program at the UBC School of Music. Thank you, Nancy. We pause for a moment to give thanks, spiritual and temporal, for the blessings we share in this wonderful world, this great country, this blessed province, this splendid university. And we respectfully acknowledge the traditions and customs of the Okanagan Nation and its people, in whose traditional territories we are gathered today. We give thanks for these proud students, their families and friends on this most happy occasion. Please be seated. Madam Principal, distinguished colleagues, honored guests, members of the UBC graduating class of 2014. What a great day for you graduates. Congratulations. I know that you've worked hard, you've had some fun, I hope, and now you're ready to take on the world, or at least a part of it. But I can't help but feeling sorry for you too. After all, if you listen to too much talk radio or you read the blogs of too many self-appointed opinion leaders, yours is a generation of university graduates set to face an employment crisis. The CBC recently called you Generation Screwed. I'm sure that you've all heard the tired tropes. You're all about to become baristas or gym attendants. If you have a Ph.D., you're most likely to be driving a taxi. You don't have any skills, yet you expect too much. Canada needs only job-ready technicians who will fit pipes and run heavy machinery. Well, I have one message for you today. Forget all of that. You are going to prove the naysayers wrong. Your generation is going to live lives and careers that are meaningful to you. Perhaps not in exactly the same way your parents did, but you have every opportunity and responsibility to make your own distinctive mark on our society. Why am I so confident in your positive trajectory? Well, first, because you've made one of the most important decisions of your life, choosing to go to university. Get past the stale anecdotes about baristas. Look at the facts. Students with a university degree consistently have greater success at finding and retaining employment than those without a degree. Across Canada, university graduates have the lowest unemployment rate of any education group, including trades and apprenticeship graduates. University graduates also have the highest wages. Now, don't get me wrong. There is nothing problematic about choosing a technical vocation if that's what you want and care about. Our world needs people who are good at their jobs and who care about their work across every employment group. But don't be misled by false claims that you were choosing unwisely in choosing a university. You are making a choice that tens of millions of people have made throughout the last century and this, seeing that the very best way to create opportunity and social mobility is a university education. I'm also positive about your prospects because you are collectively savvy. You applied to university in record numbers, having worked hard to get here. You've chosen programs that fit your passions, where you were most likely to succeed and to explore your full potential. You've resisted the temptation to think too narrowly about what is immediately marketable, knowing that education is as much about citizenship and enriching your spirit as it is about finding a job. You're not bound by rigid ideas of what you can do with your degree. And you're right about that. Careers and lives are unpredictable, and never more so than today. Change is endemic. Ex-Google CEO Eric Schmidt studied engineering. The CEO of Bloomberg Media studied theater. Astronaut Marc Garneau studied science. The dean of Harvard Law School is an education grad. Financier George Soros studied philosophy. So did English comedian Ricky Gervais. I think that you want your education to prepare you for jobs that don't even exist today. That's why you've increasingly demanded that your programs include more opportunities for developing practical and analytical skills. That's why so many of you have pursued co-op internship opportunities, gone global, developed leadership skills in clubs and student government, undertaken community service learning. You've known that so much of your growth in university happens outside classes, in residences, on sports fields, in theaters, in protesting something that worries you, yes, even in the well. Finally, I have confidence in your prospects because you have learned so much in your time here at UBC. I'm not thinking about the detail, the formulas, theorems, theoretical approaches, or data. I'm thinking about what you've learned about you and about the myriad places for you in our world, about the ways in which you can make a difference for your families and for our society. As I step down later this month as president of UBC, I do so with enormous confidence in our future. Confidence gained primarily from watching you. You know far more about the world than did my generation of graduates. You're less caught up following a narrow set of paths to success. I think that you're more willing to take risks. All right, one or two of you may end up working as baristas, but only for a while as you figure out how you're going to make the world a better place. Thank you for what you are going to make happen. And congratulations. I'd now like to invite Professor Deborah Buzzard, Deputy Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Okanagan campus, to the podium. Dr. Buzzard.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Every year at Convocation, UBC has the honor of bestowing honorary degrees upon individuals who, in the opinion of the university community, have fit the criteria of excellence and eminence in their chosen field. Jack Szostak exemplifies these characteristics, and I invite him now to step forward to receive his honorary degree. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, long before he received a Nobel Prize and before he earned a Ph.D. in biochemistry, and even before he started university at the age of 15, Jacques Szostak was a curious kid with a chemistry set. The University of British Columbia values lifelong learning and the pursuit of our passions, particularly when that pursuit can have a transformative impact on the world. That must have been one remarkable chemistry set. And we know that the inquisitive lad was one remarkable and eager young learner. His groundbreaking explorations in cell biology and genetics have had a profound effect across the life sciences. Indeed, they have changed our understanding of life itself. Among his many achievements is the discovery that cells build and maintain telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes, by using a special DNA synthesizing enzyme now known as telomerase. Understanding telomerase is one key to understanding how cells and organisms age. It's critical to understanding the biology of cancer cells, for example, and has given us a much more complete view of the processes that affect our lifespans. In 2009, recognizing his exceptional work in this field, Dr. Szostak received a Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, along with his research colleagues Elizabeth Blackburn and Carol Grieder. Dr. Szostak was born in 1952 in the United Kingdom, and I should just mention that that was the year that the paper by Watson and Crick actually identifying the structure of DNA was written. So in his lifetime, he has changed our understanding totally. He grew up in Canada, where he studied at McGill University in Montreal and at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, where he received his Ph.D. in 1977. He's been at Harvard Medical School since 1979 and is currently professor of genetics there and professor of chemistry and chemical biology at Harvard University. He's also affiliated with the Howard Hughes Medical Institute. His contributions at the forefront of science continue as he and his research team today explore the molecular origins of life, seeking to understand how complex chemicals in a very, very young planet Earth were able to self-assemble and combine to form simple organisms capable of reproducing and evolving, the very beginning of life itself. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, for his extraordinary contributions to our understanding of life, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, upon Jack W. Szostak.
You stay right there.
By authority of the Okanagan Senate of this university, I confer upon you, Jack W. Szostak, the title and degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Congratulations. Who's going to put your hood on?
It now gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Szostak to say a few words.
Okay, President Toop, Principal Buzzard, Provost Matheson, faculty members, parents, friends, and most of all, graduating students. It's a great pleasure for me to be here on this happy occasion. So please let me begin by just saying a few words to the Honorary Degree Selection Committee. I'm very grateful for this distinction, and I thank you all for this honor. Having grown up and studied in Canada, and also thanks to my sister, Professor Caroline Szostak, having had many opportunities to visit Kelowna and also come up to this beautiful and rapidly developing campus, it's a special pleasure for me to receive this degree from UBC. So I'd now like to address the graduating class of 2014, and of course, my first order of business is to congratulate you all on completing this phase of your studies. And I say this phase, of course, because you will continue to be learning in school or out for the rest of your lives. Still, you've worked hard and reached an important milestone, so this is a good time, I think, to reflect on your ambitions and goals and plans for the future. And it's on the future, your future, that I'd like to offer a few thoughts. So it's been said that it's hard to predict anything, especially about the future. But I can tell you one thing for certain, and that is that the world is changing. And that means that your future is going to be full of surprises and challenges, hard problems, and great opportunities. In other words, it's going to be exciting. So, how can you be ready for this wild ride into the future? So let me just give you one lesson that I've drawn from my life in science. I think this is something that's really applicable to many areas of human endeavor. And that is the importance of questioning conventions and prejudices and preconceptions. And overcoming my own preconceptions has been my greatest challenge as a scientist. And to the extent that I've been successful in science, it's because I've always been willing, even if sometimes as a last resort, to scrap my favorite ideas when it becomes clear that I'm wrong. So this was absolutely true for the work that led to the Nobel Prize for me, and it's been true many times since. So if there's one lesson that I hope you've learned from your studies here, it's the necessity of questioning the received wisdom of your time, whether that's coming from the authors you read, your parents, your friends, society at large, or even your professors here at UBC. Well, with the possible exception of my sister Carolyn. I think you can believe anything she said. So you're not going to be ready for an unpredictable future, and you're certainly not going to be able to make the world a better place unless you're willing to ask hard questions. Think hard about the evidence that might be confusing or contradictory, and then exercise your own judgment and act accordingly, whether in your job, your volunteer activities, or how you vote, or anything. The world faces great challenges, I think, in large part because so many people hold fast to preconceptions and beliefs. And yet, seeing and challenging the preconceptions of others is easy compared to fighting the challenge of our own individual preconceptions, our own favorite ideas and pet theories, the things we believe because they're perhaps in our own self-interest, or simply the built-in worldview that comes from growing up in a society where things have always been done in a certain way. So I hope that you'll take this lesson with you and think about it and use it to help you both make the world a better place and find success in all of your future endeavors. Thank you. And good luck.
Thank you very much. It was an excellent message for the students. It's my pleasure now to call upon Jenna Gall, member of the graduating class, to make remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Buzzard. President Toop, distinguished guests, and fellow graduates, family and friends, I am honored and humbled to be standing here today to give the speech for the UBC graduating class of 2014. I am also honored to announce that Alumni UBC will be placing a commemorative stone tablet in the courtyard with the names of all of the graduating class. This tablet is meant to symbolize lifelong ties to the university and to this family. I would have to say that my new favorite question is, what are you doing after graduation? Not because I enjoy answering it, but because throughout the course of the past few months, I've heard it daily, if not hourly. This question has pushed me to think a lot about expectations. The expectations I have of myself, the expectations of my family and friends, and the expectations that society places on us. It's as if this piece of paper we received is suddenly what defines exactly who we are. Well, I say bold to that. Today is the perfect day for us to be reminded of what those expectations really mean and what truly defines us. This piece of paper is important, sure. But what defines me from these past 4 years are the experiences that I've had, the skills that I've gained, the lives that I've changed, the countries that I've traveled, the friends that I've made, and the laughs that I've shared. I enjoyed my classes, I loved my labs, I took on undergraduate research, wrote an honors thesis, and as much as these academic things educated me, they are only part of who I am, not the whole package. So why is it that suddenly my next steps need to be defined by what degree I chose? We began our university journey with a thirst for knowledge, opportunity, and education. What we leave with is a lifelong gift of knowing a little bit more about who we are, what we are capable of, where we think we might fit into this world, and how we can give back. But the exploration of self doesn't end here. Looking back on our 4, 5, or maybe 6 years at UBC Okanagan, we have all created community, friendships, and meaningful changes. Whether through joining clubs, taking on research, getting involved in the community, working on or off campus, traveling, or just by bonding with our class and lab mates. We have defined ourselves by this community. We're going to miss this place, even the late-nighters, the studying, and the frantic paper writing. But what I will miss the most is this community. There isn't another community like it. University is a special place where we can meet like-minded people. And if a group of like-minded people doesn't exist, well, we just created a group for that. I remember 4 years ago feeling nervous and excited to move across the country and start university in both a province and a city to which I'd never been. In many ways, I'm still that person. I'm excited about the next step. I'm planning for my next project. I'm still passionate about environmental issues, and I'm still addicted to the Arctic. And contrary to my dad's teasing, I can still take a deer in one shot. I have not lost those skills that my parents spent my childhood teaching me. But the past 4 years have allowed me to grow and change in ways that I never thought possible. They have completely changed me in all the right ways. I would have never expected to be where I am today or who I am today. I'm so thankful for the opportunities, friendships, connections, and challenges that have shaped me into who I am now. I have UBC Okanagan and all of you to thank for that. But let's not forget that this is anything but an ending. It's a transition, it's a change, a step, but it's also a beginning. It's the beginning of the unknown. It's the beginning of making mistakes, taking risks, getting outside of our comfort zones, and making decisions with our hearts. For many of us, these expectations are making us feel at times that the time has ended, that it's too late to get involved in something that you're interested in. It's too late to get ahead in your field, or it's too late to make a change. Stop that. It's never too late. Saying it's too late is giving up. It's being closed-minded. It's choosing not to push yourself to be better every day. So strive to be defined by what you do for others and the world around you, rather than what you do for yourself. This is it, class of 2014. We are 1,600 graduates strong. We are 116 international students from 37 different countries. We are brave, we are strong, and we are ready. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. Will the candidates for degrees please rise? Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting the candidates for degrees who have successfully completed their studies and fulfilled the conditions that the university has set for them. The Okanagan Senate of this university recommends them to you for the degrees that will be announced by a representative of the faculty. As each degree is officially conferred, the Dean of the Faculty, and in the case of graduate students, the Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, will congratulate the student. Stephanie Paul and Larry Paul, members of the alumni community, will then present each student with an alumni gift. The candidates will please be seated.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Haley Autumn Catton. Dr. Catton examined the impact of an introduced insect on an invasive weed and a related native plant species in Canada. She showed how this insect successfully controls the pest plant, but has negligible effects on the native plant. Her approach linked theory with applied ecology to increase our understanding of the impacts of insect herbivory. Dr. Catton. Melissa Jean Lavallee. Dr. Lavallee constructed a family of degree 6 polynomials in her study of the inverse Galois problem, a problem first posed in the 19th century which remains unsolved. Moreover, her applications involve finding a family of intersective polynomials as well as a family defining monogenic fields, both of which are rare in this particular study. Dr. Lavallee. Sean Alfred Strom. Dr. Strom developed a mathematical model for the interaction between the mountain pine beetle and lodgepole forests to test the effectiveness of different management strategies. He accurately predicted the spacing between pre-epidemic beetle attack clusters, providing further insight into the transition from endemic to epidemic population levels. Dr. Strom. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Science. Julianne Cecile Beam. Kirsty Brown. Jennifer Ann Forsyth. Aaron Michael Godden. Frida Sophie Gustafsson. Evelyn Lise Jensen. Molly Adair Thurston. Jose Carlos Rodriguez Jewell. Alejandro Velasquez. Shahadat Hossein. Michael William Henderson. Khan Kamal Jackie. Salma Kiravar. Lindsay Reinholtz. Courtney Victoria Bauer. Rebecca Bryson. Marissa Dutoff. Charlene Gabriel. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Armadeep Singh Gill. Julie Michelle Horseman. Mengtian Jin. Gurtej Mundi. Stefan Sebastian. Rudy Verlinden. Adamo Roberto Archie Dovidio. Geet Kamal Kaur Hans. Vanessa Joy Shoot Ibsen. Satinder Kaur Lidher. Rebecca Maria Mlikovic. David Oliver. Lucas Chatagnier. Larissa Christiana Addison. Stephan Harrison Brody. Kira Ruth Byers. Charleston Tang. Brianna D. Veneman. Andrew D. Mead. Najati Abulizi. Kimberly Andrick. J. Luke Armstrong. Megan Edwards. Alyssa English. Megan Furr. Ryan Vincent Ficocelli. Alexander E. Field. Ramsey Jaswal. Brittany M. Jeffries. Reese Grandison Kelly. Brandon Patrick McGuire. Shayla Dieter Ann Mercier. Courtney Neff. Veronica Okari. Anthony Sreko Sarek. James Wong. Dustin Wareham. Alicia W. Yu. Haley Howard. Amelia Frances Hamilton. Corey H. Allen. Joshua M. Smith. Alexa Geddes. Ariel Arciga. Antonella Avolio. Chelsea Faye Bateman. Brandon J. Beck. Phuc Dang. Samrita Daliwal. Christiana Durfeld. Christine Doris Haslock. Calvin Chapman Lim. Cameron Martina. Pete McEwen. Usman Raza. Sarah Rosbaugh. Sasha Ross. Colin Bryce Scherer. Brittany Joanne Schroeder. Christiana Salivanova. Andrew Robert Leonard Williamson. Caitlin Wise. Jessica Brebner. Caitlin Elizabeth Cowley. Zina Christine Prakash. Caitlin Fuji. Serena I. Swanson. Laura Kathleen Fairburn. Sarah Park. Thomas A. Welsh. Brooke G. Bell. Russell P. Enns. Jace James. Ashley Rose Miller. Tran T. Nguyen. Alexander Dominic Schwelm. Adrian Anthony Smalley. Lukas Piotr Slashta. Dakota Joyner. Kirsten Dawn Larson. Paul Moore. Jared Andrew Martin. James Noack. Jenna Corin Gall. Larissa Michelle Laderoute. Marissa Sorki. Brett Balmer. Alana Bodo. Erica Cahill. Emily Harmon. Lisa Hetrick. Graham Every Nibs. Erica A. Massey. Jonathan J. McKay. Stephanie Ott. Ryan Andre Periana. Taylor Davidson Morris Quinn. Melanie Ransom. Alexander R. Robertson. Christopher Romeo. Che Shi. Nate Speyer. Matthew Summers. Crystal Thiedemann. Nora Frzina Toro. Shelby Ann Skinner. Jordan S.E. Fortney. Kara Lee Heel. Rachel L. Jung. Amanda Chantel Kuhn. Sonia Persad. Tal James Shalev. Lisa Marie Adamson. Brittany Altwasser. Amanda Christine Chamberlain. Carolyn Coulson. Casey L. Fennessy. Philip Andreas Garber. Jennifer Kethriner. Kevin Lloyd. Alicia Lore-Nil. Priscilla Medina. Alicia Timstra. Alejandro Avalos Mar. Christina Malikow. Ryan Abel. Christian Alexander Black. Alexander McLean Heathcote. Jordan K. Wu. Joanna Borzecki. Marguerite Tibbles. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the recipient of the University of B.C. Medal in Science, Preston Cooper. Alexandra Hain Skoden. Ryan Mark Kuzemski. Morgan Anthony Ruzelmelin. Tyler Trones. Shailene Kathleen Wilson. Ricardo Jose Chao Ralda. Chloe Robertson. Christopher Richard Bitcon. Rashpreet Brar. Mackenzie Carnes. Malcolm Ellis Eaton. Tara Lynn Evans Atkinson. Samantha Gottfried. Michael Norman J. Dustin D. Lambert. Sydney Christian Morgan. Crystal Marie Scholl. Morgan Lee Stone. Peter Dylan Zaitzoff. Tyson M. Anthony. Allison J. Beck. Caitlin Berendt. Vidi Bat. Sydney Bottomley. Alana Brumwell. Natalie Bunton. Sarah J. Connolly. Kaylee Alana Craigo. Christian M. Hill. Fareen Kanji. Alvina Puikyu Lung. Jasmira Lovemore Guste. Lois Ricky Lujan. Abdul Wase Malik. Angelica Mamaril. Tarina Mosley. Danica S. Nicoletti. Riley D. Oishi. Daniel Paul. Julia Elizabeth Smith. Kayla Michelle Stinn. Audrey R. Tunyan. Alice Joy Van Brimmelen. Erin Catherine Walls. Allison Jean Werner. Daisy Wu. Victoria Emily Houghton. Megan Kazemian. Amanda Hope Davison. Dan Kahila. Jesse Cresswell. Jacqueline DeVos. Michael Fraser. Eric W. Coach. Rowan James Bjarnason. Xiaolong Liu. Tyler Selke. Caleb Graham Ward. Stephen A. Yalitz. Coulter Gerhard Davis Schmidt.
How many names do you need?
Skylar Mishiko Rabbit. Kelsey Frank Yu. Crystal Mitchell. Lisa Olhauser. Marissa Elise Ocano. Alexandra Elizabeth Violette Bentley. Carly Marie Bokor. Harleen Gill. Emily May Gore Hickman. Blair Joseph. Shelley Mankatala. Farah Measurin. Wendy Akech Nyawadi. Matthew Raymond. Amanjit Amy Saran. Brittany A. Stansek. Meisha Lee Tyndall. Christian William Romich. Elia Marie de Volder. Matthew Scott Ferrier. Samara Holly Croker. Alex Jordana Leary. Kimberly Lemke. Tamara Schramm. Dylan R. Tracy. Janelle Lene Vanderbeek. Marina Wang. Kelsey Mills. Allison Elizabeth Carter.
So here comes a really important bit. For those graduates who have just crossed the stage today, and for all those who are unable to attend today's ceremony, with respect to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program, I hereby admit you. Will all the graduates please rise? It has been my great pleasure to meet and congratulate each member of today's graduating class. You've all invested a great deal of determination, focus, and hard work in obtaining your degree. And now, just as you graduate, this would be a perfect time for you to turn around and show your appreciation for the support of your parents, family, and friends by giving them a big round of applause. Having crossed the stage today, you are members of the Convocation of UBC. You are in good company. Since UBC began granting degrees in 1916, more than 300,000 women and men have crossed a stage just like this one to receive their degrees, and have gone on to build our communities and shape our society. As alumni, your relationship with UBC begins anew. You can maintain your voice in the affairs of UBC through your elected members in Senate, by mentoring today's students, or by participating in UBC's many volunteer activities here and abroad. And as lifelong learners, you're always welcome to come back and take a course or two. I encourage you to stay involved and be part of the future of this great university. You have much to offer UBC, as it still has much to offer you. to a mast. Please be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Vice-Chancellor. The Governor-General's Gold Medal is awarded each year to the student who achieves the highest academic standing at the graduate level. Since it was first awarded in 1873, this medal has become one of the most prestigious awards a student in a Canadian educational institution can receive. This year, the gold medal goes to Melissa Lavallee. Would Dr. Lavallee please come forward? This year's recipient is a truly distinguished scholar with a passion for mathematics. Supervised by Blair Spearman and Shiduan Yang, Dr. Melissa Lavallee's doctoral thesis focused on the study of parametric families of polynomials, and in particular, their construction and application. She is a recipient of multiple university graduate fellowship and awards and an NSERC Alexander Graham Bell Canada Graduate Scholarship. Her excellence has been recognized with all three of the Governor-General's academic medals. She won the bronze medal in high school in 2002, and she was UBC Okanagan's first ever silver medal recipient as an undergraduate in 2006. That is a hat trick of Governor-General's medals. Today, in recognition of her outstanding work as a graduate student, the Governor-General's Gold Medal is awarded to Melissa Lavallee. Congratulations. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our ceremony to a close. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I, and that all of you will be able to join us for refreshments, which will be served in the courtyard immediately following the ceremony. We please ask that guests remain seated at their places until the academic processions have left the building. Thank you all for joining us today, and I know you will join me one last time in congratulating the wonderful graduates of 2014 of the University of British Columbia.